All right. Welcome back to the Why Not Us podcast. My name's Carter Kramer, Mr. Mike McGowan.
Sir.
How are you, man?
Good, man. How are you?
Yeah, good.
Yeah.
I'm good. That's I always pick cold, shitty days to come down here lately, it seems
I know.
like. Though.
You bring it with you.
I
don't
like
you say
that
it was
reputation.
50 back in Iowa today?
Yeah, it's supposed to be like really supposed to be as warm there as it is here, I think.
It's crazy.
It's like a little rainy here. It doesn't happen very often. But you guys probably like this, a little cloudy, a little different. I mean, maybe not this time of year, but
It's all right.
yeah, it would be welcome in, August.
Yeah. Very much.
Anyway, so yeah, man, we're back. We're recording a few episodes here with Mr. Jimmy Talbert in the Why Not Results studio. We have just finished up a very interesting discussion. I think we're going to get into another interesting discussion here, talking about it's this wonderful time of year.
Yeah,
It's the year. I shouldn't say the time of year. It's the year.
Yep.
Election time.
Yeah, election 2024.
Here we go.
And so
It's a shit show already.
And so from now until the election in November,
Yes,
we'll record one podcast every month. And
Oh.
talk about the campaign,
kind of the updates of what's happening.
So right now, I mean,
love it.
everybody's focused on the
It's
presidential.
all news to me, by the way. It's all news to me. I love it, though.
Yeah. But everybody's focused on the presidential campaign right now, right?
Yeah, sure.
Because that's the big one.
Yep.
But like as we get through the year, we're going to be looking at Senate seats like Carrie Lake here in Arizona is going for Kirsten Cinemas. Cinemas.
That's an interesting situation going
Very
on
much
right now,
so.
too. Yeah. And this will come out a little bit later, but I'm sure you guys will know what we're talking about when you see this. Anyway, let's talk a little bit about it. We've got down to really a 2-dog race for the most part, but not quite there yet. So let's just dive into it, man. We want to just talk about both sides. You want to start like Republican side, Democratic side?
We know that. So let's talk the Democratic side.
Okay.
Right? So, I mean, we know Biden's the obvious, he's the incumbent. He's the obvious choice.
Right.
There's some challengers, Dean Phillips, what have you, but
yeah. Did you see this morning that he got like a bunch of protesters, like, and I think it was a bunch of Democrats like booed him off of a.
Oh yeah.
You see that?
It's all about Palestine and all that,
Yeah. So anyway, I didn't know what that was about, but there's some pushback though with the Joe Biden situation. Again, the guy's got essentially one of the worst, if not the worst, approval ratings ever.
Yeah,
presidential history.
Yeah, correct.
Right.
Yep.
He's at what, 33?
Yeah, something.
So a third of the people think he's doing great, which is, man, if I could score points by having a third of people like me, I'd be doing a lot better in life.
333 gets in the Hall of Fame in baseball.
Yeah, that's true. That is true. Absolutely.
Yeah.
Especially if you have a high slugging percentage.
He couldn't take a walk because he can't walk.
Yeah, that's right. Yeah, I'd be crawling to first base.
You see him. He shuffles. He shuffles like the old man that he is. He shuffles.
I've seen. Did you see that video I sent you yesterday? We'll put it up. I sent you this video. There's this guy. He's a Boston guy that does these videos, and he's got the really hefty Boston accent.
Okay.
And he runs this clip of Joe Biden, just mumbling and bumbling around, and he's like, this guy couldn't be a barista. Like you'd be calling somebody, asking him like, what is wrong with this person? Like, and that's the truth. But this guy's the president of the fucking United States.
Yeah. He can't put two sentences
and
together.
honest to God, I'm concerned for the guy. Like something's not okay.
Yeah.
I still think there's kind of some Weekend at Bernie's thing going on, man. Like where maybe he's already dead. No,
dude. There's
a lot of
that movie
technology these days,
hilarious. Bro. Remember when they're dragging him behind the boat and he hits the buoy?
I haven't seen that in so long. But honestly, man, I mean, in all seriousness, I mean, it's really a disservice to the American people that we can't just have two decent freaking options.
No, we're gonna get stuck with what we had 4 years ago.
Yes,
Biden and Trump. We'll get to the Republican side, but
we've turned our presidential election into who sucks less.
Yeah. Lesser of two evils.
Yeah.
Yeah. Right.
I mean, it's sad, bro. So anyway,
so some questions about like, will we see him? Campaigning. I know he's already done a little bit of that, but are we going to see him like run a full schedule and be the president of the United States? And are we going to see?
He's already not doing much. Are
we going to see him on a debate stage? There's no way he can debate.
I feel like they should. I feel like they should have him debate and put it on pay-per-view.
There's absolutely no way he can debate.
Great. No.
But so that makes me think he's not going. There's not going to be any debates.
Then and again, man, does this doesn't this tell you the level of corruption?
Oh yeah.
You're telling me that the guy's got a 33% approval rating. His own party is very fearful because it's very unlikely.
Nobody wants him to come campaign with them.
No.
Yeah.
It sucks, dude. It tells me that there's a lot going on behind the scenes that is over and above our understanding. And
puppet masters,
absolutely.
Everywhere.
Yep. Somebody wants him in there really bad.
But
got him in there the last time.
There's a precedent though. Right here in Arizona, Katie Hobbs defeated Carrie Lake.
Yep.
For the governorship.
Yep.
Right. There wasn't one debate. Katie Hobbs refused to debate, and she still won. That just goes to show you that partisan. People that believe are so far to one side, they're going to vote for that person no matter what.
Yep.
And I think it's we just said like lesser of two evils, or which one sucks less, right? It's also as long as that person does, as long as that side doesn't get in,
right,
or as long as that side doesn't get in. People vote that way, which is ridiculous.
Vote to play defense.
Yeah,
basically, right?
Yeah.
You know what's interesting to me, man? I still wish we could have a more, there was more likelihood of a centrist candidate showing up on either side or both sides. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
I think that is what people really are drawn to. Like, for example, I like RFK. I like the fact that the guy's taking on big pharma.
Yeah.
I like the fact that he's a Democrat, but I feel like he's a fairly central, middle of the road guy, right? He's on different sides of the fence depending on the policies that he's discussing. I don't know. Why doesn't that happen more often? It's like we've created again this very stringent bipartisan situation that if you're not all over here or you're not all over there, but unfortunately, man, in my experience, most of the citizens of the United States do not fall all on one side or the other.
Correct.
You agree?
No, yeah, I agree.
Why the hell can't we get candidates that have kind of similar common sense approach that the people are looking for?
Because we've said this before, one side or the other side yells louder.
Yeah, well, and unfortunately, man, it's the corruption, right? The people are getting greased.
I mean, the fact that here in Arizona, and I'm going to pick on Arizona because if you remember in the last presidential election, it took forever for Maricopa County to get the results.
Yeah, that was a big deal.
DeSantis was laughing at us because they had their votes in by like midnight, and they had them counted by midnight, and it took Maricopa County like a week and a half.
Yeah.
So it just goes to show you that a person who was the Secretary of State for Arizona.
Yep.
Who was not very good at that job, by the way, and maintained her position as she was running for governor because who counts the vote? Who's responsible for the vote count? The Secretary of State. Right. So forget all of that for a second. But just the fact that she didn't debate, that her campaign was kind of like Joe's in 2020, was basically in the basement, right?
Yep.
Didn't say much, didn't do much, just was out there and was on the ticket.
Yep.
Right. And it was Democrats on the ticket.
Yep.
It just goes to show you, and I'm gonna say this, Arizonans, right? Like the mass part of the electorate is ignorant.
Yeah.
Because they'll vote for somebody that they have no idea what he or she stands
for. They
they
haven't even heard him speak.
What their policies are.
Right. How do you
How do you vote for somebody who doesn't come out in public?
Yeah, you don't even know where they stand on the policies.
But that's exactly what's going to happen with this presidential election. Biden is going to be in the basement like he was last time. He's going to have surrogates out there. He's going Do you know that? Right. Do you know that? Oh, I wrote this down because someone actually said this. The current centerpiece of the Biden campaign is to get Taylor Swift's endorsement. They're looking at the NFL. They're like, yeah. So
he needs, man. He needs something like that. I feel like that might be the best thing that happened for the guy. Right. She's got such a. And again, man, that's what a shit show this presidential election has become. Yeah. Right? It's a soap opera.
Yep.
It's no longer about what's best for the people.
Yep.
It's no longer about. It's about what's best for the people that are pushing the most money around.
Yeah.
Who's lobbying the hardest for their policies and their regulations and all the other crap that we're getting just pummeled with. Okay, let's talk about the Republican side.
Which is why that right there, what you just said is why Vivek was so appealing, because he gave answers to questions.
He's very well spoken, man. He's obviously a very intelligent guy.
He fired at everybody.
He did.
And he took shots at everybody.
But with thoughtful and effective
correct.
responses, I thought, right? Yeah, no, I agree.
So what do we? So
and he's out of the race, right? He's gone,
and now he's endorsed Trump. So is Tim Scott. So has Bergrum.
Yeah,
lots of Republican governors have done that.
Yeah.
So what do we got?
And let's talk about why that happened, because when we had the Iowa caucus, we had New Hampshire, right? We had the primaries in New Hampshire.
Yep.
those, they were landslide victories for Trump on the Republican side.
And he's going to have 2 more in Nevada and South Carolina this month.
Yeah, easily. And I mean, hey,
so it's going to be Trump. I mean, Haley.
What the hell is Nikki Haley still doing around?
Okay, so
is she getting greased by like the Democrats? Like, what's the play here?
She is like pure establishment. Even though she'll say she wasn't, and what she did inside, she's pure establishment.
Yeah.
So the 2 biggest donors to her super PAC.
Yeah.
One is Reid Hoffman, the co-founder of LinkedIn.
Yep.
Right.
Yep.
Who's a massive Democrat donor, and he's doing it. He's also funded some of the the lawsuit that just got settled with Trump, E. Jean Carroll.
Yeah.
$83 million for harassment or whatever it was.
Yep.
Right. Yep. He funded that lawsuit. Reid Hoffman did.
What?
He funded.
I didn't
it.
know that.
Yeah. So so now he's funding Nikki Haley.
So he's a headhunter.
He wants to somehow to beat Trump.
Yeah.
Same thing. One of your favorite people in the world.
He's playing dirty.
One of your favorite people in the world is Larry Fink.
Mm-hmm.
And Larry Fink, for those who don't know, is the CEO of BlackRock.
Yeah, Larry Fink,
the king of ESG and DEI, right?
Yeah,
and he's a substantial donor to Nikki Haley, and he's a Democrat.
Yeah.
So all they're doing is trying to get rid of Trump.
Well, they're just trying to take votes away from him somehow, right? So she's going to ride this thing out, matter. Right? She's going to ride this thing all the way out.
She's committing career suicide, by the way.
Absolutely. Oh, absolutely. Oh, dude, it's. I mean, the funny thing is,
she'll get a job on MSNBC.
The funny thing is, man. I mean, not the funny thing, but kind of the sad thing is, I'm at this point where, and I mean, it is time for us to have a viable female candidate that can win.
I agree.
It's time, dude.
I agree.
I don't think there's. I would love to see. I'd love to see Candace Owens, as the president of the United States. I mean, again, just somebody that doesn't fit the normal bill. That is an intelligent one, and maybe she's a bad example. Yeah, okay. I don't know anything. I don't know enough about her to know where she stands on anything to know if that's even a viable statement. But the point was, it is time for a female to get into office, and that at that level, I'm surprised it hasn't happened. We've had shitty, Hillary Clinton, and I mean, there's so many females that would be way better at that job than what we're dealing with.
Well, so right now we have a female as the vice president of the United States.
Yes.
Kamala Harris or Kamala, whatever, however.
Yes.
Right? Harris. Right? Yeah, whatever. She's a moron.
Yeah.
I mean, it's word salad. She's cackling all the time. Funny, man. It's awful.
Well, and again, if you look at her track record, man, she's just flip-flopped all over. She's a career politician, man. Yep. She doesn't care about the people. She'll say whatever somebody else tells her to say in that moment and say it with conviction.
Yeah.
I mean, it's whatever. I mean, that's what we've gotten to, right? These people are just the face for
whatever's
happening behind the scenes.
If you remember when Biden was running and they had to pick when he was nominated and they had to pick a VP, it was known that there was going to be a black female.
Yeah. Yep.
So they pigeonholed themselves into a black female, and then they had to go find one.
Yeah.
And this is probably the worst one.
Yeah.
Right.
Well, I mean,
but
the press secretary is great.
Oh God. Sorry.
No,
that's just a bumbling idiot.
No, it's like really, you can't. Anyway,
hey, so who's going to be the VP candidate with Trump?
I was just going to ask you that question.
Yeah, I mean,
I've been asking myself the question.
Vivek. So I go to Vivek right away. Like that makes a lot of sense to me. Yeah. Right?
I said to you before we got to election year that I thought it would be interesting to force a situation where if the Republican nominee won. Mm-hmm. They had to have an opposite party vice president.
That's old school. That's 200 years ago.
Yeah, but
they both ran.
Because it forced bipartisan cooperation, right? Yep. In a two-party system. I think we should go back to that. I really do.
So there's a lot of rumor. The rumor mill right now is that RFK Jr.
So that would be the case there.
We'd
have a Republican president with a Democratic vice president. I mean, dude, something like that would shake things up a bit. And I'll tell you one thing, man, those two guys would get some shit done.
They would 100%.
I feel like they really would. I don't think either one of them are scared of anyone.
100%.
Definitely both, I think, love the country, which is one of my main reasons that I want somebody. It's like, dude, just at least love our country. Yeah. At least be proud to be an American. Yep. When I see people get in political office and they hate the country, I'm like, what are you doing? And
they apologize for everything, right? Yeah. So there's a couple names too, like Doug Burgum, the governor of North Dakota. Yeah, he was a candidate. Now he's endorsed Trump.
Yep.
Could you go back to Mike Pence? Nope.
Right.
Tim Scott, the senator who also dropped out of the race, the senator from South Carolina, who I think is awesome.
Yeah.
I think he would be a great choice.
Sure.
Right.
Yep.
There's Kristi Noem, the hottest governor.
I like her a lot, man.
And she's awesome.
She's legit. She's she's no BS.
Yeah.
She's down to earth, common sense.
Yep.
I wish there was more of that. Seeing people just kind of roll through the political world for decades and decades and decades. I mean, that's one of the reasons that I think Trump is liked by a majority of the American people. He's not a lifetime politician.
No.
As a matter of fact, he battled against politicians for a good portion of his career.
Yeah. Carrie Lake's been floated.
Yeah.
Potentially as well, even though she's running for Senate here. But so,
I think Kim Reynolds really pissed off Donald Trump when she didn't endorse him. So I think that's probably off the top.
Probably off, yeah.
At one time I thought she was in the discussion until
what's his name too? Sununu up in New Hampshire.
Yeah.
They don't like each other.
Yeah. There's he's got a few of those folks around. Like a lot.
Yeah, like a lot. But hey, but why are so many people trying to and Carrie Lake here is an example, right? What there was a story that came out 2 weeks ago, whatever it was, here in Arizona. So the chairman of the GOP, Jeff DeWitt, he was caught on tape. She recorded it.
Yep.
He was caught on tape trying to bribe her to drop out of the race.
Yep.
Right? Because she's a Trump acolyte.
Yep.
Right? So you've got the GOP in Arizona. This state is fucked up.
Yeah.
You got the GOP, the chairman of the GOP in Arizona telling her that there's powerful people in Washington that will pay her a handsome sum for her to drop out of the race.
Yeah.
Because they want to keep the Democrat they want to keep Kyrsten Sinema in that seat.
Yes. And I think her response was, I don't care if it's $1 billion, like it's not about the money.
I'm doing this for my country.
Right.
Which, I'm sure she is, but
she also knew she was recording the conversation. Yeah, I'm sure it was very well spoken. You know what I mean? I mean, that could have happened in a dark alley. She may have had a different response, but
right. Yeah. Well, how much?
I'm doing. So what are we talking here? There's no amount of money, but just out of curiosity, give me an idea.
Give me some idea. No, just ballpark it for me. That's fine.
Yeah.
But why are so many people like Trump has to be doing something right if there's so many people that don't want him back in there? Yeah, because it screws their whole world up. It screws their little monopoly up.
He's jacking with the untouchables in the system. And man, that's the other thing that bugs me. The last podcast that we did was about Dr. Fauci's interview with the oversight committee, right? Mm-hmm. That talked about how COVID was handled in the United States and the response to COVID. So anyway, long and the short, it's just the same thing, man. It's like as soon as you stand up to, the big brother government to say, okay, wait a minute. Like, let's really pull the curtains back and really see what's going on here.
Yeah.
There are people that just shit their pants.
Yeah.
These old school politicians, dude, that have been in there for like, no.
Yeah.
Don't you fucking dare.
Yeah, it's a uniparty.
You know what I mean?
Yeah.
And it's like, dude, why do you think they're doing that? Because the corruption is deep.
It's so deep.
And they are scared to death.
Yeah.
It's like if somebody flips that thing over, and again, the fact that people can't see through the bullshit to see that there's all these people trying to prevent Trump from even being able to be on ballots and from being able to run, and they're going to try to imprison. Like, dude, I think that's part of the play here, man. Well, that's something we're going to have to continue to talk about. It's like, I think that's going to be the play from the left is they try to imprison the guy right before and then we don't have anybody.
Yeah. And
who's going to be left? Nikki Haley.
Oh God. So a lot of people say that's why she's hanging around.
I know.
A lot of people say that. So
now we're in a situation where the Democrats win either way. But because she's running as a Republican, but she's not,
and she's beholden to him now because they contributed, and she owes them favors, and this, that, and the other. Right? Be bad. Yeah. Establishment. Yes.
Right? Yep.
So what? So
God, it scares me to death. Mike.
I know. But so it's interesting. What about a third party candidate? I know we've got RFK Jr. out there.
Yes.
Why doesn't a third party candidate work? I looked it up. There's no the Libertarian caucus or whatever is later this month.
Okay.
Right. So they'll pick their nominee later this month.
Are you in there?
What's that?
Are you on the?
No, I'm not.
God, what? Come on, man.
Anyway, so
I'm disappointed.
I know.
If you want to write in, it's Michael McGowan.
Yes.
Gilbert, Arizona, I believe.
Yeah. Mesa,
Arizona.
Anyway.
Sorry. Anyway.
So
you can make a push. I bet we get you a couple hundred votes.
Why not? A couple hundred votes. Wait, how many people subscribe to our?
It's like going to be 150 more than Nikki.
I got
Haley's
triple
gonna get.
digits, baby.
Yeah.
So
that would actually be a fun story to tell.
right.
Yeah.
So why is it never happen? Why is it never?
Because the system doesn't allow it to happen.
Correct.
Right. It doesn't fit the narrative, man.
Because
they lose control.
Yeah. Remember the big third party candidate was Ross Perot. Remember that?
Yeah, he was like the one person that actually ruffled some feathers. I feel like there was another one. Who was the other one that made a decent run? Wasn't there somebody? I can't remember.
Perot was 92.
I think this was after him.
Okay.
Gosh, I'm drawing a blank, but I thought there was another. Let me look it up real quick. Go ahead. You were going to say
but
something
I
else
just don't understand why there's not a viable option for a third party. Now, one could say that Trump is more like a third party than he is any establishment Republican, right? You can absolutely say that. So maybe that's the, maybe that unfolds in the future where a Trump-esque person can like Vivek can get in and create a third party. Maybe, I don't know.
But Perot ran as an independent, right? Was he not? He was an independent. He wasn't a libertarian or anything.
Who's that? Yeah,
Perot. He was
right? Independent. Yeah. And he was conservative. So he took away. I remember he took away votes from Bush and helped Clinton win.
Ralph Nader was the guy I was thinking.
Oh yeah, Green, right?
Yep.
Yeah. So I just don't understand why this two-party system continues to endure.
Yeah.
Well, maybe I do understand. It's because of the corruption and because of the money.
Exactly why.
Yeah.
I was looking at this a couple of weeks ago. There's countries, man, that have like 26 political parties. That's not really uncommon when you go across the pond. It's interesting how it's two. We get two.
Yeah.
And you have to choose.
Yeah.
It's one or the other. And it's literally becoming so difficult because our options are just so. I mean, I said this in other podcasts, man. It's disappointing to me that the people that we would want to step in and lead our country are way too smart to want that job.
Yeah,
right?
no, exactly.
I mean, it's unfortunate,
100%.
man. It's like there's some great people in this country, great leaders that would, we are in a system now where the whole goal is to squash innovation.
Yep.
It's to make sure that the big money stays the big money. It's a joke, man. It's really disappointing, and it's not what this country's about.
Yeah, agreed.
Yeah. So anyway,
so what are the issues, right? So in both Iowa and New Hampshire, as far away from the border as you can get, immigration is the number one issue.
I was just going to say, man, I thought immigration came up as the top concern.
It's immigration
issue. Yep. What do you call it? Top.
Biggest concern or
one of the most important topics of discussion.
Yep.
And that's really interesting, don't you think? Because Joe Biden essentially ran of the premise that I'm going to open up the borders and we're going to stop this wall talk, which now, by the way, he's trying to get funding to continue.
We'll talk about that later.
Yeah. So anyway, dude, it's all over the map.
It's insane.
I don't believe any of them. That's the unfortunate part. The corruption is very deep. I'm concerned about the Trump situation because it's obvious that people are going to do whatever it takes to try to stop him from being able to do the job.
Yeah.
Which is really disappointing, man, because I don't know about you, but my life was a hell of a lot better when he was in office. I just feel like things were easier. Tax situations for me were more favorable.
A lot of the banter now, a lot of the what's coming out of the Democratic side is that if Trump gets elected, it's going to be chaos. It's going to be chaotic and it's going to be chaos.
Of course,
for
it's
whom?
Fear. Yeah, of course, it's fear.
For them, for the politicians, it's going to be chaotic.
Oh yeah, they're going to be shitting their pants.
Do you think right now with the border, with crime, with drugs, with everything going on because of Biden's policies and because of this administration, do you think all of this shit is not chaotic? Because if you think it's not chaotic, then you're wearing blinders.
Absolutely, man. Absolutely. Well, again, the guy's got a 33% approval rating for a reason.
And that's why immigration is the number one, number one topic for voters is because it's insane. It's absolutely insane.
And we've talked about the immigration thing, man, so many times. And again, it's like, dude, just let's.
But it's such a big issue now. We're going to keep talking about it. It's insane.
It's a mess.
It's absolutely
like
insane.
So many things, just like the inflation situation, the economy is a train wreck. And now it's this, we talked to Randy Carroll, your friend Randy Carroll, a few podcasts ago.
Yeah.
Dude, it's sickening to think that they have taught people or kind of created this smoking mirror that, whatever's going on in the Dow, whatever's going on in markets, that's our economic health. No.
Yeah.
It's not.
I hear you.
Do you know how easy it is to manipulate the market at this point?
Yeah.
dudes have blown up stock with a Reddit post.
Yep.
Like, and people are like, well, that's how we judge the health of our economy.
Or propelled one.
Absolutely.
Right?
Oh, dude. I mean, that's what I'm saying though, man.
Yeah.
That is not the measuring stick to use if you want to understand our country's economic stability or economic health, in my opinion. So yeah, man, lots of crazy stuff. I don't want to get into this too deep. If we're going to do this,
we're going to do this once a month.
Yeah, that's what I mean. We'll keep updating it.
That's a good. It's a good start. I mean,
it's a great start.
It's going to be Trump. It's going to be Trump unless the charges,
right?
But
don't you think this is kind of where we expected to be?
Yeah, I
we
think
kind of
so.
expected to have Biden, bumbling around and Trump fighting like tooth and nail, just trying to keep everybody off his back and dragging him backwards. It's exactly what I expected.
Isn't it funny how for the last couple of years, as Biden has declined significantly? Right.
Yeah.
Isn't it funny how now a lot of the mainstream media is because Trump said something about Nancy Pelosi when he meant to say somebody else. Right.
Yeah.
And so they jumped on it.
Oh, yeah. Of
like
course.
His mental acuity is going downhill. Have you seen the guy in office?
Yeah.
Right.
Yeah, can't complete a sentence.
It's unbelievable.
I've seen some great clips lately, dude, of him. I mean, I literally, again, man, I feel bad for the guy.
He needs to be in a home.
He just needs to be out of that situation, man. I hate to see him like taking. I mean, I feel like he's getting, he's under stress. He's 107 years old.
Yeah, but
it's
but there's someone with some.
Let the poor guy go play some freaking croquet or something. I mean, yeah, right? Can't you see that?
Can't.
Really?
You can't walk from one thing to the next. So
yeah, that's true.
did you see what the administration just did though?
So about which? Well, maybe, but
in like Martha's Vineyard, in Greenwich.
Okay, I did not see this.
In a couple of these really really wealthy areas.
Yeah.
One of them was Rehoboth Beach in Delaware.
Okay.
Right.
Okay. Yeah.
So the administration has given tax breaks to those communities because they're calling them low income communities. So he's giving himself a tax break. Anyway. So there's someone with some kind of, someone of course is clever, and it's not him, of course, but his property was sure bled in there. Okay. Prediction before we go, because this will come out after the Super Bowl. Right.
Yeah.
So the prediction between Mr. Pfizer, right, and Taylor Swift getting, possibly endorsing Joe Biden.
Yeah.
There's no way the Chiefs don't win. There's no way the Chiefs lose. There's no way.
Yeah. I should show you some of the clips I've been looking at too about their last stretch of games.
Yeah.
Have you seen this?
Uh-uh.
Somebody put together like a highlight reel.
Oh,
and it's like dudes like intentionally missing tackles. Or like running past a ball carrier to like hit somebody that's like a blocker that's behind the play. Like just shit like that, right? Or like, yeah, I mean, it's comical, bro. And again, it's unfortunate, but money seems to be in charge.
100% the Chiefs win.
I hate it.
And I love the 49er team is great.
Dude, Brock Purdy's Iowa State guy.
He's a Chandler guy.
Dude,
he's from
George
Chandler.
Kittle, he's a freaking Iowa guy, right?
Yeah.
It's like, I love seeing these guys have some success. They've got a squad too. The 49ers do.
Yep.
But dude, the Chiefs, it's hard. It's like one of those teams. They've become the new Patriots, where everybody wants to hate them because they're good.
Yeah.
Andy Reid's good.
Yeah.
He's a stud. He's a stud coach.
Yeah.
He knows he's had success with lots of teams. He took players that people are like, "What are you doing?"
As much as I hate to say,
wasn't he the Donovan McNabb? Wasn't that
was
Andy
him?
Reid? Yeah, that's what I thought. Yeah,
he was like 0-4.
Everybody's like, "What is this guy doing?" And it's good. So
yeah, instead of Super Bowl rings, McNabb just got himself a bunch of DUIs here.
Yeah, that's right. That's right. Yeah. All right. Well, hey, good stuff, man. I'm excited to continue to talk about this. I hope everybody gets out there and does their research and make sure you understand what is at stake here, because this is going to be a huge election.
Yeah.
The state of the country is very shitty in my opinion. Just ask the other 66% of people that feel like it's Mr. Biden's not doing a good job. So
why not us 1776 on YouTube, why not us pod.org, and why not us in all caps on Spotify. Check it out.
All right. Thanks, buddy. Appreciate it.
Man.